On the last episode of this series, I looked at Timothy Zahn, specifically to rank his Star Wars Legends novels based on the user review scores from the 5 major websites that do user reviews for books. In my series, EU by the Numbers. This is data that I collected over 2 years ago for the expandeduniverse.com. If you want more on that, you can go to the link in the pinned comments, which will have the first article explaining how I got these numbers and how I calculated them all. But today, I want to look at the next author on of the Legends authors that we'll be going over, Timothy Zahn. Just some quick stats for him. He wrote 12 novels for Star Wars Legends, all of them being adult novels. That is second most amongst the adult authors and sixth overall. He has an average star rating. This is how many stars out of 5 people gave his books on the websites, which all use a 5-star rating scale, of 3.82, which puts him at 28th overall for all authors, Star Wars Legends authors. 68,766 user ratings is what he has, which puts him at 7th. That is the total number of people that left a review or star rating on one of those 5 websites. And when you divide that by the 12 novels, you get 5,730 and a half user ratings per book, which puts him at 34th. He was also active writing for Star Wars Legends from 2001 till 2013. Now, coming in at number 12, we have the first book in the Darkness trilogy, The Joiner King, which came out on Tuesday, July 26, 2005. Quick side note, all of his books came out on a Tuesday. Del Rey eventually got into the habit of releasing books on Tuesday, as that would maximize their chances of performing well on both the USA Today and New York Times bestsellings list. There are some exceptions to that within the Del Rey era, but for Denning's books, they all landed on a Tuesday. It has a star rating of 3.5, a user rating, total user ratings of 4,861 at the time of taking this data, and an overall ranking of 143 out of 160. Coming at number 11 is the third book in the Darkness trilogy, Swarm War, which came out again on Tuesday, December 27, 2005. It has a star rating of 3.53, with a total user ratings of 4,520, and an overall ranking of 142 out of 160. At number 10, we have the final book in the Darkness trilogy, The Unseen Queen, which came out on Tuesday, September 27, 2005. Excuse me. This has a star rating of 3.53, with total user ratings of 4,411, and an overall ranking of 141 out of 160. Now, for those curious, of all authors who have written at least 5 adult novels for Star Wars, this trilogy is actually the lowest performing in the overall rankings out of the 160 adult novels. Just a little side note, just to explain why the star rating numbers are going to jump significantly higher as we move on to this list. Coming in at number 9, we actually have Crucible, which came out on Tuesday, July 9th of 2013, his final book in Legends. This has a star rating of 3.71 across the board, with 3,142 user ratings, which is, I believe, the lowest of all his books. An overall ranking of 110 out of 160. Coming in at number 8, we have Tatooine Ghost, which came out on Tuesday, March 4th, 2003. It has a star rating of 3.78, with 5,631 user ratings, and is overall 101 out of the 160 adult novels. Coming in at number 7, we have Legacy of the Force Tempest, the third book in the Legacy of the Force series. This came out on Tuesday, November 28th of 2006. It has a star rating of 3.85, with total user ratings of 6,764, and was 86th out of the 160 adult novels. Coming to number 6, we have the third book in the Fate of the Jedi series, Abyss, which came out on Tuesday, August 18th of 2009. It has a star rating of 3.92, total user ratings of 6,395, and an overall ranking of 62 out of 160. At number 5, we have the sixth novel in Fate of the Jedi, Vortex, which came out on Tuesday, November 30th, 2010. This has a star rating of 3.94, with a user ratings of 5,736, and an overall ranking of 55 out of 160. Excuse me. Coming in at number 4, we have the 6th book in the Legacy of the Force series, Inferno, which came out on Tuesday, August 28th, 2007. This one with a star rating of 3.95, with 6,423 user ratings, and comes out at 50 out of the 160 adult novels. Coming in at number 3, we have Star by Star, his one entry into New Jedi Order, which came out on Tuesday, October 30th of 2001. It with a star rating of 3.97, a user rating of 9,079, which is the highest of all of his books, overall ranking of 46 out of the 160 adult novels. At number 2, we have the final book in the Legacy of the Force, Invincible, which came out on Tuesday, May 13th of 2008. This has a star rating of 4.05, user ratings of 6,351, and an overall ranking of 27 out of 160. And finally, the 9th and final book of the Fate of the Jedi series takes the number 1 spot, Apocalypse, which came out on Tuesday, March 13th of 2012. This one with a star rating of 4.06, user ratings of 5,453, and an overall ranking of 22 out of 160. Remember, these are just what the various book review websites, not my own opinion, but just some charts that I think can, kind of like the Zahn chart, we can use to kind of show some greater trends that I notice within all the data. So for his overall star ratings over time, you kind of notice that like his first 2 books do sort of well, then Dark Nest trilogy kind of bottoms out. But then specifically with Legacy of the Force and Fate of the Jedi, his books actually increase in how many stars people were giving it over time. So the 3rd book has the least, the 6th book the middle, and then the 9th book for each of those series has the most. Converse that with the how many people are actually leaving ratings for it, you'll notice it's an inverse. More people are leaving ratings on the first books in the trilogy than do the last books. This is an overall trend that's not just with Denning, but with other trilogies and other series. You'll notice that the earlier books tend to have more people reviewing them, but the later books tend to have higher scores. My theory for this is that a person who is going through a series is more likely, if they don't like the series, to drop the series prior to getting till the end of it than people who enjoy the series. That means that the first books in the series will have more people reading it because more people have gotten that far, and will have harsher critics because the people who don't like it are still around. By the time it gets to the end of the series, it's more likely that those people who don't tend to like that series haven't read it or haven't moved on to it, so the people left are the ones who really like it, which is why they tend to have higher scores. Just some interesting information. Again, that's not just on these charts, but a lot of the other charts that I thought that Denning's numbers could help illustrate. So that is all. Thanks for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you think and which authors you would like to see me cover next, and take care.